Welcome back to Chasing Our White Rabbit.
Episode 8.
Episode 8.
It's kind of crazy.
I know. How's your week been? How's working out?
I haven't been. I've been too busy, just with life. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. I don't have time. Alicia was super sick. You
went to the hospital, right?
Yeah.
That's how sick she was.
We were talking about on the last one that she'd just gotten sick, but
it got worse.
She couldn't get better. She couldn't stop vomiting, and I had to take her because I couldn't get her to stop. It was constant. And so
you were there till 12 o'clock at night, right?
We were there really late. I don't even remember. Yeah. This week is such, all the days have blurred together, and I don't remember what happened on what day. I know that we went to the hospital Sunday night, and Monday I ended up taking off of work to just try to, help her, stop throwing up.
Just to survive.
Yeah, and so then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it's playing catch up.
Yeah, it's going back and forth. Plus all your work because you have a job.
Plus, she still wasn't feeling well. So Tuesday she tried to go to school and got sick and had to come home.
Oh yeah, that's the day she came home, right?
Yeah, and then Wednesday, she didn't go to her early class because she has a 0 period, but she ended up going to a couple of other classes.
She seems like she's doing better now.
Thursday she was like, I feel so much better. I have all this energy. It's so weird. Yesterday I thought I was going to die. Today I can't stop talking. And I was like, yeah, you seem a lot better. But they don't, we didn't even do all the tests to figure out what she had because they just would have treated it the same. So there's really no point. But she was a sick little girl. I was worried. She gets so stressed out because she's so worried about her grades, and she had a test coming up.
Oh, really?
In math, and she was like, "I'm not. It doesn't matter. I'm not even here to learn."
She's no studying either, right?
What do you mean?
It's not like she sat around studying.
No,
she was sick.
Slept.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So there was no studying.
There's that kind of sick where you are sick, you can't go to school. Maybe you are throwing up. Maybe you have a fever, but you're fine most of the day.
Yeah.
And just watching TV and everything's fine. She was not that kind of sick. Girl was struggling.
Also, I feel like anytime she tried to eat something or try to do anything normal, it was just 5 minutes later not going to happen.
Yeah.
Even when she was kind of starting to feel better, and all of a sudden it would be nah, it didn't feel good enough to do that.
Yeah. So she wouldn't even eat or drink anything, and she would still be throwing up. So that's why I ended up taking her, because I was I can't get her to stop. I tried the brat diet. We tried little bits of, liquids here and there, and it wasn't ending. And her fever, I couldn't, even on meds, I couldn't get it to stay down. So I finally took her in. I really don't like going to the emergency room for regular sicknesses, Do
they look at you weird?
No, they don't. They treat you really well, but I just don't I feel like it's a waste of resources.
Yeah, you should have made an appointment.
But I did try to make an appointment and literally was on the phone with the advice nurse, because we go to Kaiser. We were on the phone with the advice nurse for 40 minutes going over her symptoms and asking her questions, and I had to keep going in her room and pushing on her belly. Did it feel distended? All these different questions forever. It was such a long conversation with that nurse. And at the end she was like, okay, so what the doctor wants us to do is we're going to set you up with a phone call appointment for the next day. And then he really wants her, it's really important that she gets, I think it's called Zofran. I really hope I'm not saying the wrong medication, but it's an anti-nausea med.
Yeah.
That he was going to prescribe her over the phone.
I remember this. And then they fucking catfished you.
And she was like, so this is what we're going to do. It should help her stop vomiting tonight. And then tomorrow you can talk to her regular doctor. And I was like, awesome, great. So then I was on hold for 15 minutes, and she came back and she was like, because she's been throwing up for more than 24 hours, we can't do an over-the-phone prescription for the Zofran. You have to go to the emergency room. And I was like, I didn't want to drag this sick child to the emergency room with more sick people.
Yeah.
But
also the whole using resources thing. It's I gotta take this kid in to do something that like we could have just done here.
Yeah, you know and literally what they did there was...
So now we're clogging down like the healthcare system to do something, to bring a kid in who over the phone you know what you should be doing and you didn't do it.
Yeah, I think that's what was upset. And she was so tired. She was so miserable. And I know all she wanted was her bed and to stop feeling sick. But like they hooked her up to IVs and, you know, took a chest x-ray to make sure she didn't have pneumonia. And we did do a lot of tests, like blood tests and all the things. And then they gave her IV Zofran.
Yeah. What they were going to prescribe.
And then they did send her home with oral Zofran. I think it's Zofran, I hope. I'm not like saying something else.
You've said it so many times. It better be Zofran.
And she was getting sick in the waiting room. You know, like you're sitting there in the waiting room and like, I just felt
Did you have one of those little plastic bags with a piece of like hard plastic around?
Yep. We had the vomit bag and poor thing. And she's just, I just felt so bad for her because she had a fever. You know, she was lightheaded, so sitting up sucked. And like,
and that took up like all your time. I was like, you know, I mean, because you were like having to deal with her and having to like not deal with her. I don't want to.
No. I enjoy taking care of my kids.
Yeah. That is something you enjoy doing.
That's something that I feel like.
But like, it's definitely time consuming because even if you're working, you're also like it's in the back of your head. Like, okay, let me maybe make sure, and if she needs something,
checking on her. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and make sure she's good.
Yeah. And she almost passed out. Like she got like, they were giving her like poking her for the IV.
Yeah.
And girl's eyes rolled back in her head and she got real pale. And the doctor was like, do you need to lay down? Like it was like, I was like, oh my gosh. Because I know she doesn't like needles.
Yeah.
But I've never seen her do that.
Was a guy or girl?
Oh, that did her needle? Yeah. It was a guy. Yeah.
Because you prefer guys giving you IVs.
I do.
Or taking blood.
Guys, I've just had
a lot of bad experiences.
And it seems to be related to the gender of the person taking my blood. I've had to have a lot of blood taken. I've been pregnant 4 times.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. You've been pregnant 4 times.
I'm Rh negative, so there's a lot of extra tests that go into that. Also.
And you were also the type of pregnant girl who's like, there's all these like appointments. Like some people were like, I'm good, but you were like, I'm making sure everything's good. You're just cautious, you know. So you were like making sure you're on it. So it's like. They're always like, okay, and then now we need to do more blood work. Okay, and now we need to do more blood work.
And then after the babies, I have hypothyroidism.
Yep.
Which has caused me to have tons and tons of blood work done. And so it's just like I'm constantly in there getting my blood drawn. And I have noticed that there's a trend. I'm not saying that it's just my experience, okay? So I'm sure there's a lot of...
This is Kim's truth, okay?
No, I'm just saying...
Guys are better than girls, is what she's saying.
I'm sure there's a lot of females who draw blood. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, yeah, what is it called? Because it's like a trade, right?
Yeah, I want to say hematologist, but...
Ooh.
I don't think so. Anyway, whenever I've had a really bad experience where, like... There's like a huge bruise afterwards, or it was super painful, or they had to poke me a million times. That has always been a woman.
Yeah. Whenever
I've had a really good experience where I'm like, I didn't even feel that, it has always been a man.
It is crazy because like sometimes I've seen them. I mean, it's happened to me. I don't get my blood drawn because I'm like, I don't need to go to the hospital. If I'm dying of something, then I just die. Like, but like, so like I don't get my blood drawn very often. But it's crazy when you're getting your blood drawn. And
it's a phlebotomist.
Oh, you're way off.
I was way off.
What do you think it was?
A hematologist? I don't know what that is. Hematologist. What's a hematologist then? Anyway, finish telling your story.
Like they stick the needle in and then they start rotating it into your skin to find the vein. You know? You've had that, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like, stick it in like perpendicular to my arm.
And then tape it down. You're like, wait a minute. I mean, I'm no smart guy, but little smart knows that not good. Okay, like, I mean, and then the nurses will also tell you like that they're taking them. They're like, dude, they shouldn't have done that. Like that's like so. It's like they reaffirm like that's not you're not supposed to go straight and then tape it down. Like this.
Yeah, that was my worst experience. Was the chick that just like.
I've never had that, but I have had it where they literally put it in, and then like they're moving it around to try to
they
find.
missed your vein.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, and then you feel it pop into the vein. You're like, whoa, but it's like, what are you doing? Like that's not.
No. Anyway, a hematologist. I wasn't super off. Okay.
Okay.
A hematologist is a medical doctor who specializes in diagnosing, treating, and managing diseases of the blood.
Okay.
So it was blood related.
I'm sure that if you're a doctor and you went to school for 10 years to do that, you're like, hey, I'm the same as
A phlebotomist.
But a lobotomist. Lobotomist? You know, lobotomy?
That escalated. we were just talking about drawing blood, and now I got a lobotomy, okay? That's why grammar and pronunciation is important.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Phlebotomist.
Phlebotomist, like, they got to be nurses, I'm assuming. Or I wonder if it's like a certificate program.
I think it would probably be similar to, like, a person who takes, I don't know what they're called either, but the ones that
Vitamins?
do... Did you say vitamins?
Yeah.
No.
I was trying to guess what you were saying.
You're way off. No, I'm talking about people who do the MRIs and the X-rays. The radiologists.
Radiologists? Yeah. Who do the scans and stuff?
Yeah. I'm guessing that would be like a similar level. I know that...
I think that's just a trade, too. I think that's like a certificate.
Yeah, I think that you... I don't know.
But I could
because
be,
you remember,
I could be way off.
You remember Nicole and Alexis we went to high school with?
Yeah, of course.
And there was a while that Alexis worked at the same place, the check cashing facility I worked at, while I was, while we were working there. And I want to say, I don't know, is there a school called DeVry?
Yeah.
And did they do medical? Was there one in Santa Rosa? Like a actual building in Santa Rosa?
No, that was Empire College.
Empire College. That's
and
what
they did a lot of nursing stuff.
So her and Nicole went there together. And they were taking classes, and one of them, and I don't remember which one, so I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure Nicole was taking the one where she could give injections.
Okay.
And Alexis was taking the one where she couldn't.
Okay. I thought Nicole was a nurse.
She is. She was a nurse in our our pediatric.
So she had to go to school to be a nurse. I mean, that's 4 years of college.
Yeah.
But maybe the Empire College is something that...
I think that was like getting like their medical transcription type stuff. Yeah. Because I remember her
because Alexis did the computer stuff, right?
Yeah, doing like the chicka things. Like she was like typing super fast. Yeah. She was a rock star, working, had her kids and going to school. That's rough. I've been there. But she did great. I'm not even sure what she's doing now.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I think that there is like a... you go and you become a nurse, and then you can take like this class, and now you're a radiologist. Think you become a nurse,
and then you do it. I thought it would be like, you don't have to be a nurse. You just taking pictures, so you go ahead and get certified to take pictures of it. Because every time I've asked a radiologist, like, oh, how does it look? They go, doctor's got to look at it.
I was specifically talking about phlebotomy. I don't know. To be a...
Phlebotomist.
To become...
What does it say?
It's loading. Oh. You have to have graduated from high school or have a GED.
Okay. Nailed it.
Future phlebotomists who have not been working in a related medical field learn their profession in an 8 to 12 week training program. No wonder. They've been in school for 2 to 3 months. And they're shoving needles in my arms. Ugh, I just got really mad. They probably make a lot of money too.
I mean, I don't know. They should make a lot of money.
Then they should do a good job.
That's with any job. I don't care if you work for McDonald's or you're a phlebotomist, like, or you're a neuroscientist. Like, you should be doing a good job just because that's the job. How we do anything is how we do everything. What'd you put in?
How much do phlebotomists make? But for some reason, Jurassic Park.
It took you to a website. It didn't take you to the Google search, it looks like. It looks like you entered it on that website that you were on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't, but...
Oh, it just took you there randomly?
I think I know what I So the thing was is that I was not 100% sure how to spell phlebotomist.
Yeah.
So when I started writing it and it popped up, I clicked on it.
So 26
Oh,
to
actually, they don't make that much.
42. Yeah, cut
Yeah.
them a fucking break over here, man.
Yeah, okay.
They
You
make
guys are fine.
$26,000 a year.
36.
Oh,
36 to 42.
So
Okay.
$18 to $20 an hour.
Yeah, you're fine. It's fine.
That's as much as Alicia makes at Jersey Mike's.
It's fine. I
It's
got less.
fine.
I got less mad now. I'm less mad.
All this phlebotomist hate.
I do hate lobotomists. They should not be doing that, but
Yeah, they
phlebotomy.
shouldn't. They did it for a long time.
They did.
Yeah, my great grandma got a
I was gonna
lobotomy.
say you have some
Family members.
family members who have.
Mm-hmm. I have my great grandma. She had schizophrenia, and she was hearing voices, and this was a long time ago, obviously, but she had to go to the hospital, and they convinced my great grandpa to. They said, "Oh, if we give her this treatment, she'll be fine. She'll be normal again." And he said, "Okay."
Imagine imagine you and me, right? Imagine I start hearing voices.
Start.
I was gonna say, maybe I am. You're just kind of dealing with it, and you love me, and you take me to the doctor, and they say, "Don't worry, Matt. Everything's gonna be fine. We just need to do this."
I mean, she had 4 kids, and this was in the. I mean, it had to have been because my mom was born in the 60s. So her mom
was probably born in the 40s.
Probably born in the 40s.
Which means his grandma was born in the 40s and my dad was born in 42.
Yeah. So I mean, she had, I think, 4 kids.
So if your grandma was born in the 40s, most likely your great grandma was probably born in the 20s.
Yeah. She was born in Portugal. And then they came over here.
I just feel so bad.
So Grandpa comes back from World War II. He was on that side, he was a Army, not Ranger. I don't want to overstep, but he.
Wait, what side did he fight for?
He's Portuguese. He was in America.
Okay. Because you're all on that side.
No,
I was wait
no.
a second.
I'm saying he jumped out of airplanes with a parachute, a
paratrooper.
A paratrooper. He was a paratrooper.
That's kind of wild.
It was really wild. Yeah, listening to him talk about it.
Oh, you actually met your great grandfather?
You met my great grandfather.
Oh, that was your great grandfather?
Yeah.
I thought that was your grandfather.
No.
The older gentleman
With the beard?
without any
Teeth? Yeah, without teeth. That's my great grandpa. That's Francis. So my grandma from Santa Cruz?
Yeah.
That's her dad.
I thought that was. Oh no! You know what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean.
No, I didn't.
We're not gonna get into everything, but you definitely knew about it.
I knew that. Yep.
But anyways, so he comes back from World War II, and his wife has a bunch of kids, and she's hearing voices.
Wait. Did his wife had just randomly a bunch of kids when he got back?
No,
or they're his kids.
They're his kids.
Okay.
So they homesteaded 100 acres when they came over from Portugal. They came over from Portugal, and then they homesteaded 100 acres in Susanville. Oh no, sorry, Sonora, in Sonora, and that's where they lived. And then World War II happened, and he went off to war. And
did he get drafted or did he join?
I don't know. The guy was old when I was talking to him. He's as old as your dad. So it's now he's older. But I mean, you ask your dad about, because he was in, the military. He wasn't in any wars, but he was in the military. He doesn't open up and talk about it. That generation doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like we were around a lot. You know what I mean? We would, maybe once a year we'd go there. They had all this property, but they were poor. They were really poor, not ghetto poor, as far as growing up in Section 8, welfare. We're talking about
country poor.
Country poor, exactly. They didn't have.
They had property and they lived off the property and.
Yeah, they killed a cow every year, and that was the beef they had. They had pigs. They had an orchard to feed the pigs and the chickens. Everything worked harmoniously with everything. But anyways, going back to my grandma, so he came back and she was hearing voices, and the doctor told him, "Oh yeah, if we do this, she'll be back to normal." And she never left the hospital because she was a vegetable, or she was not a vegetable, but she was she had a lobotomy. She had a portion of her brain removed, and she was never the same. And then,
she didn't hear voices anymore.
Yeah. At least she didn't complain about them. I mean, that's the sad part, right? We don't know what happens.
We don't know.
She could be just living in hell. And you know what I mean? We would never even know.
Oh, that's so sad.
So then my great-grandpa married another woman and had kids with her. Yeah.
And that was your mom's biological grandma.
That was that happened to.
That happened to. Yeah. Not the new wife.
No. And then I never even met her though. Like we grew up, I thought that the grandma that was there was grandma. Mm-hmm. And they would say like, you know, you don't just tell kids that's actually not really.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, and they treated us like they treated everybody else. It wasn't like they treated us any different. And so, but like later on, it was like, oh, it was something probably, you know, something like, you know, because I heard that my great grandma got a lobotomy, but I mean, I was like, she looks fine to me. But it wasn't the same one. Is what I'm saying. But yeah, so anyways, it sucks.
It does suck.
And they did that for a long time.
Like, he probably like, you think about, like, he just got married and moved on with, like, he probably...
He didn't. I mean, he still had kids from this lady, you know? And they're, like, old country people, so it was like, I mean, I don't know.
You just think, like, he probably had so much hope with this doctor who you trust telling you this is going to make everything okay.
Yeah.
And then it's even worse.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know all the circumstances that led up to it, of course. I don't think anybody does. Because, you know, my grandma suffers from a lot of mental, you know, illness as well. So you can't just sit there and have a conversation with her either.
Yeah.
So trying to find out the history.
Like the details kind of get lost and...
You kind of just accept, okay, well, this is what happens, and you just move on.
And you never know. Like, it happens, I think, a lot in my family. Like, my family's super secretive. Like, we talked about on a previous podcast how they've... Actually, I'm not sure if we did or if that was just a conversation. Did we talk about how my mom and dad made the...
Yeah. Made the thing where they changed
Yeah, but was that the one where we had to redo it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, well, it's kind of like my family's pretty secretive, so you always wonder, like, these stories that get passed down, how they've been tweaked by the teller along the way. Because if my mom and dad, I'm sure nowadays they wouldn't care, but back then my mom and dad would have told the story that we got married and then had our first child, but that wasn't the truth. But that could have been, especially when history was passed down orally, it would have been the story, but the story would have been inaccurate.
Yeah, and there wasn't a lot of pictures back then too.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like when your dad was young.
Yeah, and who knows, like I'm not saying this is what happened, but it could have been that she didn't even hear anything and she just pissed off her husband. That's stuff that
would be crazy.
That's stuff that happened then, though.
I mean, I've never heard about that. So you're country poor, you have nothing, and you're like, the person is taking care of my kids. I'm not saying it happened. I'm not saying. I mean, you're making like a horror story. Right? If that was a book, people would be like, "Oh my god, it's evil."
I'm just saying that it did happen, because women didn't have individual freedom over their own bodies and choices and stuff.
In the 50s? What are you talking about?
Their husbands would be like, "She's acting a fool." And take her in to get a lobotomy.
Some would say some would say the good old days, right, boys?
she's just mad because he cheated on her or whatever.
Yeah,
and like
I'm not gonna push that on my family. I'm not gonna.
I'm not saying that.
Because you may not to be like, hey, it could have been a lot darker. You don't know.
No, I'm just saying, like,
he could be like an evil billionaire that like to live poor. You know, I mean,
no, that's not what I'm trying to say at all. I'm just saying that we never know. Because especially like personal history like that, like it's not like everybody has an autobiography.
Yeah, it's not like everybody does a podcast and we get to listen to hours and hours of their life.
Yeah, so it could be anything, but I think it's just
I know, but saying it could be anything is so like.
No, I think
it's so slippery slope. Like, what is she actually saying? Does she know something he doesn't know? Because she's over here going like, oh, it could be anything.
I don't know anything.
I agree that could happen. That did happen, but that's not the case with my family. I agree with you. No one was manipulating people and getting them to. Dude, I doubt if my grandpa even knew what a lobotomy was.
I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, in the idea of, like, that whole trust, like trusting your husband to make the right decision, or in this case, him trusting this doctor that this was really going to work.
Well, here's where the real manipulation comes in, is that point. Because the doctors got paid a crazy amount of money for every lobotomy they did. And the person who invented it, like, did tens of thousands of lobotomies. Like, he pushed, oh, you have cramps because you're on your period? Lobotomy. Like, it was crazy, like, what he would give lobotomies for. And he just straight up lied, saying, oh, this will cure whatever's wrong.
And that's super crazy to think about what you said just a few moments ago, where you were like, we don't even know, like, a lobotomy for cramps. Great. Now I'm just not complaining about the cramps, but they're actually still horrible. Like, yeah. It's sad.
Yeah. I mean, because it's the removal of your frontal lobe, or the destruction of your frontal lobe, which is where your higher form of processing is.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I just recently saw a preview for a documentary of someone who had a lobotomy done.
Oh, and they were like fine?
They weren't fine, obviously, but like,
it wasn't
I feel
obvious.
like it was this guy who was a kid, and they like stuck.
So you used to do through the eye canal.
Eyeball into his brain, and
just the eye canal here up into his brain.
Yeah, and it showed pictures of him like before, and then like right after. So he's all like bruised up and swollen. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, oh, I should watch that. That looks interesting, because it looked like it was from his point of view.
Well, maybe it was like a dramatization of what it was. But I wanted to say how they had failed lobotomies too, right? And the guy's like, dude, you messed up a different part of my brain, you know?
Like what part?
I don't know, like the back part. Like the part that holds like your ability to, what's it called? Impulse control. Like the center part of your brain is what is like fight or flight. And if you damage that.
Oh, it's called My Lobotomy.
Okay.
By Howard Dulley.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
We'll have to watch it.
Yeah, yeah. But you saw something recently you wanted to talk about. Why don't we talk about that? Because I just heard a little bit of it, and then she was talking about it, and it seemed kind of crazy.
Yeah, so this morning, Matt took his dog Maeve on a walk. And
yeah. It was a nice 5-mile walk, I think.
I don't know. He normally takes a couple hours just walking with the dog, like going random places. So he was gone for a while.
Going random places, or we're walking. We're looking for water. Maeve's my black lab. She loves water. She'll find water and just roll in it.
And then he brings her home and doesn't give her a bath, and I have to...
She likes it.
I don't like it. Anyway, that's
why
off subject.
You know, she has her dog.
So while I was waiting for them to get back, I was scrolling on TikTok, and I saw a random TikTok. It was of a FedEx driver. He was, like, I'm guessing, trying to go to his route, and he's trying to get into a neighborhood, and he's stopped by someone. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have all the details, but he's stopped by someone, and the person's like, oh yeah, you can't go through here.
Wait. You saw a TikTok, so you have all the details. I don't understand.
You don't have all the details.
You swipe right, and then you watch all the videos. There's like 30 of them.
I haven't had time to do full research. I just think that it
was gone for 2 hours.
A crazy story.
So he picks her up in the...
No, listen, please.
Okay, well, hurry up. I want to hear it.
You're sharing misinformation.
Okay.
So he gets stopped by this lady who's like, you can't go in here because there's been a kidnapping. That's a TikTok I saw. And I was like, okay, whatever. Just scroll on past, right?
Yeah.
Well, slowly, my whole For You page is like videos from inside a inside this FedEx truck. Okay. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. I'm scrolling. Then I stop on one because I see a little girl in his FedEx truck in the video. And I was like, Is this the same?
He brought his daughter to work.
Is this the same mother-father who just got stopped and told, hey, you can't go through here because there's a kidnapping, and now I'm seeing a video of the chick that's been kidnapped in this guy's car.
It's like an 8-year-old girl, right?
She was 12.
12-year-old.
7. I'm sorry. She was 7.
No,
I just got confused because that lobotomy one, he was 12 when he got his lobotomy. So I was like, sorry.
But this
she was
girl,
7.
this
Her name
girl
was
died.
Athena Strand. Athena Strand. So in 2022, like November 30th of 2022, she lives in Texas.
Oh, this was a bunch of years ago.
Yeah, because now this is all coming out.
Oh, these videos are just coming out now?
Because he's on trial.
Oh, okay.
Or he's getting, he's guilty. He pled guilty. They're like deciding whether or not he gets life in prison or the death penalty.
But he pled guilty.
What does that mean?
Because if you plead guilty, you're pleading to a deal. And, like, there's no reason to plead guilty if, like, let's say, we're going to give you the death penalty.
I have no idea how that works. All I can tell you is what I read.
If you're pleading guilty, basically you don't have to go to trial. So what they do is they say, we'll cut a deal with you. But if you're going to go on trial, why I wouldn't be pleading guilty, because like if I'm going to get the death penalty either way, I'm going to...
I understand your logic there.
Okay.
But I can tell you what I read. I read that he pled guilty to murdering this little girl. And I read that they're on trial. Okay. And the jury is being shown all of this evidence.
He pled guilty and they're on trial?
They're showing them all this evidence for them to decide what his punishment is going to be.
But if you plead guilty, you don't go to trial.
I don't know what to tell you. I can only tell you what I read.
Okay.
That's all.
Anyways, so so it's basically death penalty or life in prison?
Yeah. So in 2022, November 30th of 2022, this gentleman, he worked for FedEx, but it was actually like it was a third party.
That was his own truck.
It wasn't his own truck. He worked for a company who delivered stuff for FedEx. Okay. And he dropped off, this is so sad, this detail. He was actually dropping off this little girl's Christmas present.
Oh my God. People are horrible.
So he drops off this Christmas present. Obviously he doesn't know what it is because it's in a freaking box, but whatever. And snatches this little girl from in front of her house.
Does he leave the present?
He left the package.
So he's like,
here's the thing.
Give one, take one kind of thing.
He gets her into the car. He
gets her. Does he grab her?
I haven't seen that. And like I said, I just saw this
like
a couple hours ago.
Is that what...
It's all of that I've seen is video of him that was recorded from the camera in his truck.
Okay, so there's no like extra footage that we're missing.
That I have seen. I just saw this a couple hours ago.
I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Then just say no.
No, I'm not going to say no because there could be
because you don't know.
I don't know is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's where the no comes from.
I don't know. It's a different no.
Okay.
Anyway, so he snatches her, puts her in the back of his truck, and I personally didn't want to listen to it, but there is footage.
The audio?
It's audio and video. There is footage of him like her coming up into the front. You know, like they have,
yes, that's what I saw.
The back doors that open like that.
Okay.
And it's to the back of the delivery truck or the front where the people are driving. And she's up in there and I guess she asks him like, are you a kidnapper? Where are you taking me?
Oh my God.
Can I see my mom? She knew.
Okay, so go on.
That's so horrible.
What happened?
He kills her. He covers up the camera. He covers up the camera and then it's visual. I didn't want to read the details because... It is
graphic.
I can't.
You don't know if it's graphic or not. The details.
I know that her body was found 2 days later. Oh my God. Naked.
Oh my God.
I know that part of the audio, he says, you know, you're really beautiful.
Oh my God, dude. This
part of the audio, he asks her, take off your shirt.
Oh my, what the hell?
And she says no. And then you hear her start screaming and banging happening in the truck.
That is horrible.
So you can imagine.
Does she have a dad?
She has 2 dads. Because there's 2 articles I read.
Stepdad?
One article where this happened at her biological mom's house. And it was the stepdad That's what
the stepdad. That was the stepdad.
No, it was the stepdad. Like in that house was the biological mom and stepdad.
Okay.
And then another article I read was exactly the opposite: the biological dad and stepmom. So I'm not 100% sure on that.
So it could be a split family, and then they both have spouses.
Yes.
Dude, what would keep me from killing that person?
I don't know, Matt. It's
Nothing.
so sad. This little
Nothing but the
girl.
hand of God could keep me from killing that
And
person.
she knew. She started like,
That's horrible.
"Are you a kidnapper? What are you gonna do to me?"
Oh my God.
Like she was fully aware.
Does this person have kids?
No, but there is a video of him. Well, I don't know. Actually, he could.
He's got a spouse that you say,
He has
right?
a fiance.
Dude.
He was on the phone with his fiance, being like, "Oh, babe," and I don't even know. This guy is a creeper. There's more. There's more that I haven't told you yet.
Imagine being married to a fiance to a absolute piece of garbage. Like there's pieces of garbage in the world, and then there's that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
you could
know.
say, well, Matt's kind of a piece of garbage, but that's a whole other level.
I haven't read any. I haven't read anything that explicitly says that he did something of a sexual nature to this little girl.
It doesn't matter, dude.
But I can infer.
Like I don't need the details to say kill that guy. Dude, put that guy in Gen Pop and let them have him. Like that's crazy.
I think that the death penalty is too easy. I honestly feel like what the fluff is wrong with you?
So what would you want to do to him if it's too easy? Just let him live?
I don't personally want to do anything.
Like let him go?
I think it's a great idea to just
let him go.
Let the parents have him.
Dude, that is crazy.
Yeah, I do.
Like
that might be crazy, but if
crazy.
anybody did anything to my freaking kids, even now that they're
you can't do that though.
I don't care.
But here's the thing. Here's my point I'm making. Like, there is what is just and what is right. Right. Those can be two different things. Right. Our legal system is ran on something that's supposed to be just, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's right. Which is why people who kill people get off, because it's like, well, justice has to be proven, but doesn't make it right. There's that famous quote where the guy goes, "What would you do if you're against the death penalty? What would you do if someone raped your wife and killed your kids?" And he says, "Why would kill them?" And he'd say, "But I thought you're against the death penalty." He's like, "No, what I would do is wrong, but I would still do it."
Yeah,
like because the government needs to be of like a higher moral standard than humans. That person,
I completely agree.
That person needs to die.
I completely agree.
But I mean, that's so horrible.
There's more to the story though, which is really, really sad.
There's more bad stuff?
It sounds like
Did he do this before?
It sounds like maybe he had issues before. Because he was in jail, right? After they caught him. Yeah. So they caught him because this freaking idiot. So they were like, "Hey, child here, child then missing. Oh, but there's a package here. Obviously, like something happened." So they were able to see that the package was delivered right around the time that the little girl went missing. They contacted FedEx, who contacted the third party, who was like, "Hey, we actually have video in our car that's automatically recorded and uploaded to this." So then they were able to. They caught him super quick.
So he did it right away.
Yeah, he killed her right away. Her body was found 2 days later.
That's not right away. It's 2 fucking days, man.
He killed her right away. I don't know all the details.
I'm just saying, by the time he gets home, it should be already, like, I don't know. I guess they have to figure out, they have to go through, like, oh, there's a package here. Then they have to think, okay, well, is it around the same time? Like, they have to go through that.
That whole thing, yeah.
But to me, right away is like 10 minutes later.
Well, also,
right
I read in one article that the mom thought she was just hiding. Because they live in rural Texas. So the mom thinks, oh, she's just hiding. Like, you don't call the cops right away.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
There's several things.
And she's probably beating herself up. So, well, if I would have called the cops
they didn't catch him right away either, right? Because the body was found 2 days. The day after he did it is I'm pretty sure the video of him going back to that neighborhood and being told, "Hey, you can't be in here. There's a kidnap investigation happening." Like. And
he's like, "This is my route, man."
He's like, I guess I didn't read all the details of it. Like, I've said that a million times. I'm going to keep saying it, but
you don't need to keep saying it.
What I read was that he was rude to the people who were like looking for because at the time they hadn't found her body.
Yeah.
And I guess he just dumped her somewhere 9 miles away from the home. But So while he was in jail, after they got him, when you're in jail and you make phone calls, they record it.
Yeah.
Well, he called his mom.
Mommy.
And at one point...
His mom's like, not again.
At one point, she was like talking to him, and I guess she was like, well, I hope you didn't do anything weird to that little girl. And he said, asking that question, this man has had problems, and his mom knew about it.
Well, that's the thing. Moms don't give a shit. Your kid's a child molester and murderer, and moms are just like, it's my son. I love him.
No.
100%. Like that's
Maybe
how
some moms.
That's how moms act all the time, and that's how this mom is acting.
This is how this mom is acting. But if my kid,
that was like that case with Cain Velasquez, a UFC heavyweight champion of the world. His kid was being physically molested by the babysitter, like a little in-home daycare. The mom knew her son was a pedophile and had gone to jail for pedophilia. He wasn't even supposed to be there, and she's like, "Oh, he'll be fine," and had kids around him. This guy molested Cain Velasquez's kid, who is like the baddest person in the world. Like he's the heavyweight champion of UFC. He was, and he gets let off, and then Cain Velasquez goes down there and starts shooting at him, and ends up hitting his stepdad. And the mom the whole time was like, he just has problems. Dude,
I understand that some moms, but I'm just saying not all moms, because
of course, it's never all moms.
Just letting you all know, Owen, Dylan, if you're gonna go be fucking creeps.
Oh, but Jen, Alicia, you guys are good.
No, we were talking about sons. Anyway, so she says, I hope you didn't do anything weird to that little girl, and he's like, no, Mom, I didn't. And she's like, well,
no, Mom, I didn't. I just killed her. Like, what is going on?
Well, when she's talking about do anything weird, she means like you didn't molest her.
I know, but he's like,
Matt,
at least I didn't do that. It's just insane to me.
She's just like, I hope you didn't do anything weird to that little girl. He denies it, and she goes, I just know how you can get.
Exactly, because she's a garbage person.
I just know how you can get.
Oh my God.
Put her on trial.
Dude.
This is 30% her fault. She should go to jail too.
30%? Where did you get that percentage?
Well, it's not really 50% her fault, because he's a fucking creep all by himself, and he would have done it even if she didn't know about it, probably. But she could have fucking done something, gotten her son some help. I just know how you can get to me means you've done it before, and we've covered it up, all like the frickin' Duggars, man, and their frickin' pedophilia sons.
Sons?
Yeah. They have a second son who's in jail currently.
That's sad. I feel really bad for
molesting children.
All those girls. Well, I mean, I don't know. Oh, the girls, the boys, I don't know what, but like the ones that weren't the predators, like if you had to grow up in that, it's absolutely horrible, which that segues into something I want to talk about.
I don't know if I want to talk about anything that segues from pedophilia. Okay, like this. I'm just saying to, like, this is so sad, and
so sad.
Specifically didn't say his name because I really don't think that we need to make these people famous. But Athena Strand is,
Is there a GoFundMe?
I have no idea.
Oh. Well, if there is, everybody should be contributing.
Yeah, go.
I don't know.
There's nothing.
But
that's
it's
ever
also
gonna make
4
it
years ago, Yeah, nothing's going to make it better.
That's why I'm saying that there should be a death penalty, but you get sent to the family of the kid you murdered.
Doesn't make it better though. Even when you get to torture the guys, you're.
It won't make it better, but maybe it'll deter people.
It's not, because it's a sickness in the head.
Okay, well. Then it's now 40% his mom's fault because she should have got him some help.
Or she should have put him down. I mean, I know that if my kids were like, oh, I like to, molest little girls and kill them, like, there might be a 50-50 chance we don't make it out of this conversation. Daddy might be going to prison for a long time for doing the right thing, not the lawful thing.
Yeah. I understand. And I kind of agree. But also, how come you feel like that's okay, but sending the person to the family that they murdered isn't?
I'm just saying, like our judicial system can't do that. Like, it can't set a standard where it's like,
well, then,
makes this acceptable.
Then they should just be like, okay, we're gonna let you out one more time.
No,
we'll
because
give you one more chance.
Like, I can go hide and start doing that to the kids.
No, but they let them know, we're gonna let you out on this day, at this time, at this location.
But then the person who kills that person has to be held accountable for that. They have to go.
But we didn't see it.
Okay, that's how you get.
They died under suspicious circumstances.
That's how you get corruption and fraud and horrible things happen.
Okay, well, I'd rather have corruption and fraud and horrible things happening than poor little girls getting kidnapped by.
But that's the whole Epstein thing. That's powerful people who exploit kids.
What you're trying to segue into?
No, I want to segue into my book that I read that became my favorite book ever.
About pedophilia.
Well, it wasn't about pedophilia. It's about trauma.
My Sad Life or something?
No, it's My Little Life. So, for everybody, I just finished this book called My Little Life. Or A Little Life. It's A Little Life. Bring up A Little Life on here. It's by...
Yes, sir.
Master. It is... So, I just want to clarify, because I know I've on this podcast been back and forth when I say things like, I read these books and I can't read, right? I listened to these books. Like, I'm a big book listener. I love listening to books. I don't really... You're
an audiobook connoisseur.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I get... When I say, I read the book, what I really mean is I listened to the book. It just sounds so much weirder saying, I listened to this book. So the author of the book, her name is... Why don't you go ahead and say that name? She's right there.
Hanya... I can't see it. Hold on. Hanya Yanagira.
So Hanya...
No.
Let's try it again.
Hanya Yanagihara.
Yanagihara. So...
Oh, what? Never mind. Go ahead.
What?
I was going to ask where she's from.
Oh, she's from Hawaii.
Oh,
I think she's Japanese.
I probably spelled that completely wrong.
I think she's Japanese.
Okay. Yanagihara?
Maybe. I don't know. But her race isn't really relevant to the book.
Oh, no. I just thought that the last name was really pretty.
Yeah, it is. I know she's from Hawaii. And in Hawaii, there's like a lot of Japanese people live in Hawaii. A lot of, obviously, Pacific Islanders. But that aside, a lot of Filipinos. The book is amazing. And all over social media, I hear that people say this book is horrible, that it is trauma porn, that it is disgusting, that nobody should be reading this.
Okay, so for people who don't know, what is trauma porn?
Basically, trauma porn is going in depth detail. I guess that's going into detail about horrible things that happen to your life.
Kind of like when I was researching what was happening and I was like, I'm not going to read the details about what happened to her. Versus that book would go into the details.
And it would tell you what happened.
People who enjoy that.
People who enjoy it? What?
People who, I guess enjoy might not be the right word. People who read those books it's considered trauma porn because it's so graphic, I guess. Yeah,
because a lot of people say, well, there's not a need for that. There's no need for that, right? One of the reasons why I love this book is because if in your life you ever have somebody who is you like a drug addict, someone who had a lot of issues growing up, was molested, and you can't figure out why they can't get their life together, you should read this book because you can't just get your life together.
I'll read the little blurb it says. So It's a Little Life is a lengthy, acclaimed novel about 4 college friends in New York City focusing on the brilliant but deeply traumatized lawyer Jude St. Francis as his past abuse haunts his adult life, exploring themes of friendship, love, memory, and human endurance. The book follows the group, Jude, actor Willem, painter JB, and architect Malcolm over several decades of their lives or as several decades of their lives diverge with success, addiction, and personal struggles, all centered on their devotion to the enigmatic and suffering Jude.
Yeah. So in the book, basically, Jude is there's no real plot. The book is just basically about these people's lives. So nothing's really happening in the sense where it's like leading up to something, and then like there's only a story to it. It's just about these people's lives, and it's the story of like just a day to day, like their life, right? Mm-hmm. It's like 800 pages long. I mean, the audio version was 30 hours long, so it's a long book, and in it, the author goes into detail about, you know, Jude's life, how, you know, I mean, I guess spoiler alert, you know, like he was abandoned as a baby in a garbage can. He was basically this monastery picked him up and raised him in a monastery. When he was like 8 years old, one of the priests in the monastery essentially kidnaps him and sells him into sex slavery. Every night he has to, as a kid, he has to have sex with men in a hotel, and you know the person who kidnaps him tells him, "We can be together forever. I love you," and it just destroys this person's life, and he lives like that until he's 16 years old, 14 years old. So it's like this guy has this horrible life, and then he tries to become an adult, and he becomes a lawyer, and he's so good at what he does, but he's a cutter. He cuts himself, and his friends and family, you know, they can't comprehend why Jude just doesn't get his shit together. Why do you always have to be harming yourself? Why do you always have to be so much? Because they just want him to just get over it. And they don't know what he won't share what happened to him because he's embarrassed. He believes he deserves it. All the trauma that people feel when they're growing up, when they've been horribly unjustifiably like abused in their life. That victim feels like in some way I deserve it. Some way it's my fault. And the book, I think, does a brilliant job of depicting someone who just has to deal with all of this trauma. And for the reader, and one of the reasons why I think a lot of people who don't like the book, people want a happy ending, and people want people to work towards being better, and they can't conceive that this stuff happens. But the reality of it is this stuff happens all the time. This stuff happens to people all the time. And the extent in which the book goes through to talk about like the things that are happening and how he just doesn't get out of his own way. And if he could just get better, if he could just go to therapy, if he could just, you know, realize how good of a life he has, you know, his life could be better. When in the reality of it, he has to live with being tortured by this every single day of his life. And people who didn't have that kind of trauma growing up, they can never understand what it's like.
Do you feel like you relate to it?
Not wholeheartedly, because I obviously didn't have that kind of life, but in a lot of ways, yeah. In a lot of ways, I know, like, he does self-sabotage. Like, your life is going so good, and then you just like fuck it up. It's like, yeah. Why are you doing that? It's like, because it's a perfect example of it is in the book. Like, he's like, I'm going to destroy my life because the people who love me will leave me. And I know they want to leave me anyways. They don't want to be here with me, and they're going to leave me. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? You destroy your life, and then you're in a horrible spot in your life. And you said, I knew I was going to be here all along because this is what I deserve. I'm a loser, and I only deserve heartache, and these people are just dealing with me. They're not actually, they can't actually love me the way they say they love me, because nobody loves me the way they say they love me, because my whole life growing up, nobody gave a shit.
Yeah, that's really sad, because then you think about, like, they probably did love you.
They did, yeah.
And in they said, but then you
in the book
caused them not to.
Yeah, and in the book, like they do love him, but he can't conceive like that love. He can't understand how someone could like really love him, because anybody who ever loved who he was growing up destroyed his idea of what love was.
Do you think that?
And that's when we developed that. We developed the idea of what love is when we were children. So when that becomes, perverted and destroyed, as adults, we are going to constantly struggle with that.
Do you think that impacts their ability to love?
Whose?
The people who are abused in childhood and can't conceive of anybody loving them that way. Do you think that impacts, like negatively impacts their ability to love people that way too?
Yeah, 100%. I think that they've been hurt so much that they think that they love, or they do love as much as they can. And it's like, I think sometimes it's looked at as like, you're not doing enough. And it's like, I'm doing everything I can. And it's like, yeah, but for a normal person, they're looking at you like, but you're barely doing anything. And it's like, yeah, okay, chop both your legs off. Let's see how far you can run as well. And emotionally, I think cognitively, that's what you're essentially doing. You're missing a part of you, and you're giving it all you have. And for the other person, it's just not good enough. Why? Because they want what they're giving you, right? I'm giving you all of this, and you're only giving me this. But to the person who's, growing up with trauma, they're looking at that and they're going, yeah, but you're going to leave anyways. So why does it fucking matter? And in the book, like, he's with this person, he knows this person for 20 years. And it's like, yeah, you're going to leave me anyways. It doesn't matter. Like, it does matter. Like, why do you care that I cut myself? Well, because it hurts me, because I love you.
Do you think that there's any way around that?
I mean, I think it all depends on like the severity of the trauma, In the book, I don't think there's any way around it.
You don't think that if
spoiler alert, I think inevitably what happens at the end is that's what happens.
Does he like kill himself?
He kills himself.
Yeah.
I mean, and that happens to thousands of people, millions. I mean, people kill themselves all the time, and their loved ones that are left behind, they go, I just don't understand. It's like, you don't understand. This person struggled every day just to live life and thought, no, you'll be better off without me. Even though you tell them, no, I won't be better off without you. I love you. I want you here. It's like, oh, you do you? Let me see how far I can push this love, and then watch you walk away. And then you tell me you love me then. Oh, you won't, because you're broken, you're upset, and you're done. And once you're done, you've just fulfilled everything I thought about myself. And now one can say, well, that's not fair to the person who's experiencing it. You're right, it's not. But, I mean, a drowning man will pull people down. And
hurt people.
Yeah. I mean, if you're drowning and you go out there to save them, you better keep your distance, because they're going to stand on top of you to think they're going to save their own life. And that's like these people. So, what the solution is, well, don't get involved with somebody like that. Great. You've just let that person know everything you think about yourself is 100% true. You're not worthy of love because you can't love somebody the way that they can love you. So the person who loves the person who's broken like that either needs to make the decision to say, I'm going to be here regardless of what happens, and I love you, and that's it. And they're willing to take on that burden, or they're not. And then they're going to fulfill that guy's prophecy. That guy, that voice that's in his head that lets him know they'll leave. They'll leave. Everybody leaves. Why? Because my childhood, everybody left me. Nobody stuck around.
I think that's such a hard thing to really like wrap my mind around, because obviously they are not unworthy of love.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they are abusing and tormenting the people in their lives.
Yeah.
And they don't deserve that either.
But they'll be the first one to tell you should leave because you can't handle this. Because I can't handle it. And I'm going to do this to you over and over again. And if you don't like it, then prove me right. Just leave.
So somebody like that, who would be like, who sounds like they've just kind of like fallen into that trap of acceptance. Where no. This is how I am. And, you can take it or leave it. That person who's not trying to work on themselves and is just like, I'm going to hurt you and that's how it's going to be.
That's not how it comes out.
It or, well, that's
not how it comes out. How it comes out is, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. In the book, I'm sorry is used like at least 100 times. I'm sorry I'm hurting you. I'm sorry I'm not good enough for you. I know I'm not. I'm so sorry.
That's just manipulation, though.
That's what you say. But to the kid who's been molested for 10 years and doesn't feel worthy of love, and someone loves them, they do feel sorry.
There is a point where if what you just said, I'm going back to what you just said, where the person is like, this is how I'm going to be.
No, but they don't say that.
I'm talking about what you just said.
I understand, but you have to understand the context that
I understand that they don't say that out loud.
Okay.
But if their mindset is, this is how I am.
But they're not aware of that.
Okay, then what do you mean by what you just said?
Like the actuality of what happens is that. But that's not something they're aware of. What they're aware of is, I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to mess it up. Why do I keep messing it up? Why do I keep messing it? Oh, here I go again. I can't get my shit together. Oh my gosh. You shaking your head.
I'm shaking my head because that's not what you said. You were saying that you are a person making a choice to continue.
I'm not.
That went, not you personally.
No, I know, but I'm not saying you're a person making a choice.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that the reality of what this person is going through is they don't feel good enough. They don't feel they're worthy of anything, and they're going to sabotage that relationship unconsciously. And that the person who they're with is going to leave. They might leave today, they might leave in 20 years, they might leave in 40 years, but they're going to leave. And once they leave, that person who's been left, it's going to justify everything because they aren't worthy and they don't feel good enough and they deserve what happened to them when they were younger because they're not a person who's good enough for someone to stick around for. Then the tough part is the person that's on the receiving end of that that's not fair to them. So the solution is what? You just don't be in a relationship with a person like that. Right?
I don't know what the solution is. I think that
I don't know what the solution is either.
There's way too many false equivalencies in that mindset where
what do you mean?
say, like, I was always right. See, I told you that they were going to leave. But because it's like you treated them this way and that's why they left. Yeah. Not because you aren't worthy of love, but because you abused them. That's why they left. It has nothing to do with whether or not you're worthy of love. It has to do with the fact that you abused that person and you pushed them to their limits and they tried for 20, 40 years to be the partner that that person needed and showed them the love. And the sad thing is that there's nothing that will ever be good enough for that abused, like original abused person.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's ever going to make up for and fix that.
No.
And that person is broken.
And that's what I love about the book, because the book essentially says that nothing is going to work.
So
kill yourself.
Should there be people?
Or that's what he ends up doing. He ends up killing himself because nothing ever worked out.
I don't think that you should say stuff like that.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's the conclusion of it is. He kills himself because he regrets. Not only does he regret putting everybody through everything, he knows it's the reason why, and he can't get over it. He can't get through it because every time life starts going good, he starts feeling like every person he sees, it's all those guys that molested him, that would rape him, and they would pay to have sex with him. So every time his life was going good, the hyenas from the back would come through and be like, "You think?" I
think it's a really sad situation.
Oh, it's horrible.
I think that everybody deserves love, but I don't think that it's your partner's job to fix your trauma.
It's not.
And I think that
But no one says it. No one says it is.
That because
nobody says it is.
I guess that there are some people that because of their trauma and because of like what has happened to them, they won't have successful relationships.
Yeah, just like with,
and it's sad.
Just like if people lost their legs in war, it's like that sucks. But you never swim in the canal. You know, you can't join a run club. Sorry, like you don't get to be involved with things.
And for the majority of the people that lose their legs, no, they don't get to do those things. But some of them work really, really hard and go to therapy and get the prosthetics, and then they do join a run club.
And that's the thing too. The book is like, it talks about therapy. It's like, why doesn't, I want you to go to therapy, Jude. Like, you can go to therapy. But the act of opening up, because he's going to have to talk about what happened to him as a kid, is so hurtful to him that he can't do it. He can't face that. And every time
you have to be a strong enough person to face it.
And every time he thinks about it, he cuts himself. And he has horrible lesions all over his arms, horrible scars, because he cuts himself all the time. And they're like, why are you hurting yourself, Jude? And it's like, because the pain of what I'm feeling physically, I can deal with. The pain of what I'm feeling emotionally, when I'm in my head, I can't deal with it. So once I start cutting pieces off of myself, I'm no longer thinking about everything else that I'm going through.
Yeah, I understand how self-harm works.
No one's saying you didn't.
What's the attitude for?
No, I'm just saying, like, I didn't say you didn't. I'm just letting you know, like, that's what he goes through. So anyways, I love this book because it's a perfect example of like people who grew up with trauma and then how it affects everybody else. And then you have a bunch of people who are like, just get over it. Like, just work through it and get through it. But it's, she did an interview where she's like, trauma in your childhood never just goes away. It's one door away. It's right there. It'll always be just right there. Now you can close that door and you can move forward. You can have a better life, but it's always one bad day away from just being in your face. And I think that's true. And I think a lot of people, and this stuff happens to a lot more people than people want to, give it credit for. People who didn't grow up like this, they never want to think that if you go into a foster home, you're going to be molested by the kids and or the people who run the foster home. They never want to think that, but that happens all the time. And then we look at these kids and like, why is that kid a bad kid? It's like, I don't know. Maybe that kid has had a horrible life. Maybe that kid's going to grow up to not be a great person because he's had a horrible life. And all we can do is sit back and say, well, that's that kid's problem. That kid needs to fix himself. And if he doesn't want to fix himself and he wants to keep getting in trouble, that's his fault.
Unfortunately, though.
It is his fault?
No. They do have to want to fix themselves.
Yeah. And
they do have to want to put in that work and become
and if they don't,
strong enough to overcome their trauma. And if they don't, unfortunately, and it's not their fault and they didn't deserve it, but it is a thing that happened and it will ruin their lives.
Yeah. 100%. And that's why I love the book, because it's a perfect example of that. It's a perfect example of someone's life being ruined by decisions that they had no control over, and then them having to deal with those decisions. But that weight being so heavy that they're not strong enough. Sad.
It's very sad.
Anyways, so that has become my favorite book of all time. I just think it's amazing the way it's written, the way it flows, the story. It's so impactful, and it explains so well about, the people growing up with trauma, and then the other side of it, people who didn't grow up with trauma, but their expectations of someone who did. And it's really sad. And I like really sad books. And this one is really sad. But
you should try to read more of her books. Did she write anything else?
She wrote 2 other books.
Are they all like that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're all like that, but they're all like 900 pages, like 800, 700 pages.
Do they all have like a trauma or
I don't know.
A sadness? I
don't know. I know that I don't
Like, is it the same genre?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't even know what the genre would be because it's not a story. It's not a horror story, you know? It's not like a suspense. It's not a crime. Like, I don't even know what the story would be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is a story that just talks about someone's life?
It's classified as literary fiction, contemporary fiction, and psychological drama.
Oh, okay.
Also tragedy.
Yeah. And you know I love tragedy.
Yeah, and it says the plot, it says here, the plot follows the friends from their post-college years into adulthood in New York, chronicling their careers, relationships, and challenges, explores the nature of friendship, chosen family, love, memory, suffering, and the limits of human endurance. It says, as far as its reception, a major bestseller and finalist for the Booker Prize. It's praised for its emotional power, but also noted for its dark and relentless depiction of suffering.
Yeah. And people say like, oh, they could never make this into a movie or they should never make it into a movie or a miniseries. I think they should. And I think that this stuff is great to see because it's real. And I think people like to shy away from reality of things. And when they see it, when it's literally, that's with the book, right? Books are literal. They're
literature.
Yes, but the word's not literature. Literary.
Oh, okay.
When they're literary, I think they're easy to consume because you have to sit there and like read them, and it's like okay. But when you actually have to visually see something and visually like hear something, like screams and stuff, people have a harder time with. So they're easier to dismiss, and people say, "Well, I don't think that should be made," and it's like. But if it's real and it happens to people, we should give it a voice. Everybody doesn't have to see it, but you should give these people voices. But I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I think I'd have to think about that more because part of me is like, yeah, they should have a voice and they should be able to tell their story. But another part of me is like, we're just spreading trauma.
But Game of Thrones is huge, and people get murdered and raped and killed and lit on fire, and that's okay. But when it's too close to home, it becomes an issue, it seems like.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with what you said, so.
What, Game of Thrones? It's huge.
No, Game of Thrones, like, being something that should have been as big as it was. Like, maybe
maybe it wasn't? Oh, okay. Yeah.
I would have to really think about it. Yeah, that's too much.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us on another episode.
We'll see you next time.
Like and subscribe to all the stuff.
Yeah. Find us, follow us. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and then like Spotify and like Apple Podcasts and stuff like that. So find us, follow us,
like us.
Have a good day.
Love you.